Hi guys, this is the headphoneaddict.com and today I'm doing a review of a long-time friend and reference headphone amplifier and DAC, the Grace Design m903. Before I begin doing a review of this thing, I just want to say thank you for all the 44 people that has subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much, and thank you also for the comments and the thumbs up. It's really giving me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside and motivates me to keep doing these videos. I also hope that my YouTube venture will make more of you people start your own channel and uploading your own videos, as it's pretty interesting to see what other people's got and what they have to say about it. So, with that being said, thank you for subscribing, commenting, and liking the videos. And now let's get into the m903 from Grace Design. Firstly, Grace Design is a company based in the US, and their products are made for audio professionals, not audiophiles, so they mostly tailor to audio professionals. Their products are also made in the United States, which is not that common anymore. So I don't know if you look at US made products as a sign of quality or how you interpret that, but it's quite nice to have something that's not made in China, as that's probably the rule nowadays. Well, the m903, as you can see, is a reference headphone amplifier and DAC, so it's both a headphone amplifier and digital to analog converter in one. It has multiple line ins, so it's actually a preamp as well. It has digital SPDIF, digital AES, digital Toslink, digital USB, and balanced and unbalanced analog inputs as well. As you can see here, it also has a crossfeed function, not sure, which is indicated by this little LED, and it has something called S-Lock, which will prevent jitter when you run USB as a source to this thing. Also worth mentioning is that Windows does not natively support 192 on this, so you have to install some drivers, which you will find on Grace Design's website. If you are not installing the drivers, you will not be able to drive it using USB 2, but you will be able to drive it natively with USB 1 and up to 96. So the best solution for that, if you run Windows, is to just install the drivers and run it in USB 2 mode all the time. For Mac users, it's natively supported without drivers, so that's quite beneficial. Also, as you can see here, it has two 1/4 inch inputs for headphones. The sad thing about this, and it's really standard, I have not seen any headphone amplifiers that has individual volume settings for multiple outputs, but that's the downside here. You have two outputs, but you're not able to set the volume differently for the two channels, so you're pretty much left with the same volume. As you can see here, it also has three outputs, which are phones, so headphones, line 1, which is unbalanced output, and line 2, which is the balanced output, so unbalanced and balanced output. So let me just turn it on so you can see how it power cycles and how it operates. Also, all the lighting, etc., can be dimmed, so you don't have to look at all these lights. So the volume knob has increments of 0.5 decibels for each, or 0.5, I'm not sure if it's decibels or whatever, but it has increments of 0.5. Also, if you want to change the volume individually on the levels, you push once, and you can see here that you have volume there, and there. So headphones, balanced, unbalanced output, and balanced output. Also, to change the source, you just use this knob, which has quite a good feel to it. These are some kind of aluminium or something like that. They are great, but could probably be better, but I'm satisfied, so it's great. To get into the menu, you just push for a long time, and you have crossfeed CF. So if you want to turn on crossfeed, you just click it once and you see that the LED for crossfeed is turned on, and there you go. So, and you just navigate the menu to set various options like volume when you turn it on, etc. I use it as a preamp for the WAUdio WA6SE. So this functions as a DAC, and I connect it to the WAUdio WA6SE. Also, if you want to set it to USB 1, you just click once or click twice, and if you want to store the settings and go out of the menu again, you just hold it, and there you go. So let's turn it off now and look at the back side. Also worth mentioning is that it feels quite warm when you have it running. This thing works as a what's it called? Heat sink. It works. The cabinet works as a heat sink, so it will feel pretty warm, and I wouldn't recommend having stuff on top of it, as it won't be able to disperse heat. So let's turn it off and look at the rear of this thing. Also, this thing enjoys fingerprints and dust, so it will have a lot of dust to it. As you can see here, you have some fingerprints, and it quite easily set. So as you can see here on the back side, mine is set to another voltage, and here you have the USB input, which is asynchronous as stated earlier. You also have a Toslink in, and just as a side note, since you have only one coaxial in, one Toslink in, and one AES in, which are used more for professional gear, I just want to show you something. If you want to run more sources, you'll need a splitter. So I have this little thing, which is a HDMI 4-port switch with audio outputs, which I got recently. You have one input here, and you have some inputs on the back, and you also have outputs here. So what this thing essentially does is to take your HDMI and split the sound from all the HDMI inputs and feeding it through one output. So I can connect this thing through the Toslink and then connect multiple sources with the HDMI switch. And so I have the option of running many more sources to this thing. Okay, so I've gone through the digital inputs. Here you have something called TRS, tip ring sleeve, balanced outputs. So you'll need things like this if you want to run it to your oh my god, studio monitors. You want TRS connections. These are balanced, so that's something to keep in mind. You also have one line output, which is unbalanced, and you have an unbalanced in, and here you have balanced in as well. So balanced in, balanced out, unbalanced out, unbalanced in, and digital inputs. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. I see that I'm coming up to the 10 minutes limit on YouTube. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll subscribe and comment. And and by the way, this thing is pretty expensive. It runs about $1,900, but I'm sure you can find it cheaper. I just looked up the price at Amazon. So some links in the description box. Thumb it up if you like it, and hopefully subscribe, and I'll see you later then. Bye.